Welcome to Downshift. My name is Matt, and this may have just become the best buy over something like an M3 or a C63 AMG. This, of course, is Audi's RS5 Sportback, and today we're going to show you everything that makes this car special, thanks to our friends at Audi Milwaukee. Let's get into it. First thing we're going to talk about is this engine, because it's a stunner. It's a 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V6. It's the same engine that we saw when we did our test in the Porsche Macan GTS, their flagship performance Macan. This, interestingly though, is 0.1 liters smaller than the S5 engine. But that's because the S5 only gets a single turbo, where this is dual. Power output here on your RS5 is 444 horsepower and 443 pound-feet. You can get a competition grade to this vehicle, but that's going to add $15,000 more in price and no extra power. You'll get more power in an M car, but it's ugly, and the C63 will give you a lot more power, but it'll be incredibly confused about how it does it now with its 4-cylinder. And then touching on styling, yes, the M3 4 twins are more dynamic, they're faster, but they look heinous. This RS5 by comparison is gorgeous then. It got a facelift in 2022 with some small updates, like your newly updated headlights for a little bit more checkered, aggressive look. You also get the split grille detail right above your grille, which is something we first saw in the Audi R8. And your lower fascia gets adjusted too, so your radar transponders are hidden here rather than looking like something in the grille. You've also got the carbon optics package, which brings carbon fiber into everywhere, including your wing mirrors, your side skirt, your lip spoiler. And you know how I said that your headlights were updated? Well, your taillights have also been updated to kind of mirror with the little checks. Really, really handsome. This is so much better looking than the M cars. And then touching on practicality, this is what Audi does so well. They're introducing practicality to performance. By giving this thing Sportback, you get the liftback, you get the hatch, you get the huge trunk versus the coupe. You lose the rear doors and you have a normal trunk that you would have in like a sedan or a coupe. This thing is huge. Look at all the space in here. You can't fold the rear seats from back here, but they do fold 20, 40, 20, or excuse me, other way, 40, 20, 40. And this is just something that you're not gonna get in the M car or the AMG. They're gonna give you normal sized trunks. They're not gonna be as practical as this. And this is just, it's just great having all this practicality with similar performance and while also looking awesome. But then down below, we're gonna talk about the exhaust. Now it's fast, but it also sounds really good. This being an RS car, you get the big dual ovals rather than the S5 would get quad smaller ovals. And it's finished, again, in carbon fiber, thanks to the carbon optics package. And this rear diffuser, I guess, flare piece is very similar, if not the same, to what you get in an RS6 or RS7. But it's valved, it sounds great, have a listen. And if you're familiar with my videos, you'll know that I appreciate sound and snap over basically anything else. And the 8-speed transmission that you get here is awesome. You get great little burps on upshift, and the downshifts are really sharp, especially in the upper half of the rev range. This is a great gearbox, either shifting manually or left to its own devices. And then of course, this gets all-wheel drive or quattro as standard, which is kind of nice, I guess, because when you want to get all-wheel drive in something like an M3 or M4, you do have to option up to the competition trim, which then puts it priced way over this. So it's nice that you get all-wheel drive here as standard, especially as it starts to cool down here in Wisconsin. And another thing that was updated for 2022 is your tech stack here. You've got a new tablet-oriented screen. It's very large, still running very familiar software. It's nice and responsive. You get great Apple CarPlay, Android Auto features, and you've got 360 cameras. It doesn't do like the crazy spinny thing like you get in the RS6 and RS7, but still pretty nice. And then also you'll notice that we don't have an MMI wheel down here anymore to scroll through, so it's all touch all of the time. Overall, I know some people have an issue with the tablet style, but I think it looks fine integrated here, and it opens up this lower area for more storage, which is always appreciated. And then its companion, of course, the fully digital instrument cluster, which is rocking Audi's virtual cockpit design. So you can totally control how you want the system to look for you. Look at those graphics, by the way. These are Google Earth graphics. This is fantastic. And then we're gonna head into the back seat, and we can do so with the rear door thanks to, again, the $300 Sportback option. To be honest, if you're ordering the two-door option, I'm not really sure why you're doing that. You get so much more practicality from the rear door, rear seats, and the trunk by going with the Sportback design. But again, you come in here, same awesome materials up front, padded Alcantara, high gloss carbon fiber, red stitching, the classic honeycomb RS stitching. You don't have the RS embossed in the seats like we saw in the RS7, but still awesome, very comfortable. I'm gonna step back in here. I'm 6'1", and look at this. I have inches, almost a full fist of knee room in front of me. This is pretty amazing. This is not something you're gonna see in the competitors. You've also got climate vents back here and heated seats, chargers, and look at this. Even headroom, totally fine. This is awesome. The thing that I will say that I think is kind of funny, it's not bad or anything, it's just kind of funny that individual cup holders per side. So you fold this down and you don't get both cup holders automatically. You can individually choose to have one or both or none. And by the way, this rear seat is made of 45% recycled material. Love to see it. Since we talked about the rear seats, we should probably talk about the front seats. Again, very similar, well, the same leather, excellent red honeycomb stitching. You do get the RS embossments in the front here. You also got some nice alloy detailing on the side, but the seats are great. They're heated, they are not cooled, but you can get massage seats here, which is just awesome. It's not something you're gonna see in the M car, it's not something you're gonna see in the AMG. Really comfortable, love the seats here. And then just take a look at this interior detailing. This is a high gloss carbon fiber. In the RS7 we were just in, we had zero gloss or almost like an open pore or open weave carbon. So this is kind of interesting juxtaposition, but you get it everywhere in here. Then I want to talk about the steering wheel because it is very handsome. It's nice and bolstered up here. You get this great red interior stitching. You still have these kind of hollow shift paddles like we saw on the RS7, just kind of a cool detail. But you do get RS down here as a little detail, and you've got heated steering wheel, but you've also got an RS button here. Now this is not in the RS7. I mean, you do get a heated steering wheel, but it's a different button. It's just the RS button right here in the RS7. So you shares it now with the heated steering wheel on the RS5. And then look at this, you've got your start-stop button up here. That's not in itself weird, but you notice that we do have a red rim around it, and that's because you only get the red rim for the fast ones, for the S and the RS. And the last thing we'll talk about, of course, as it always is, and that's price. Now, an RS5 for the coupe body style, the two-door, starts at $78,600. But like I've been saying this whole video, you add $300 and then you get the Sportback body style, which gets you those rear doors and the hatch style trunk. An easy $300 if it's my choice. Now, let's say you want a little bit more performance from your RS5. Well, you can option the competition, which starts at $93,800, which is quite a bit more. Personally, I'll skip the competition. You don't get any extra power. You do get adapted spring rates and some other performance enhancing things, but I think I'm satisfied with just this how it is here. But then in terms of the BMW, in order to get all-wheel drive, you do need to spec your M3 with the competition package, and that starts at $84,000, so quite a bit more than you get here. And in terms of the Mercedes C63, just don't, because that thing starts at like $95,000, and yeah, just don't, I promise. So those are the 16 most interesting things about the Audi RS5 Sportback. It is a beautifully finished full package. It's got the best looks, the best practicality, plenty of pace and drama, and it's the most bang for your buck. So thanks again to our friends at Audi Milwaukee for letting us have a go in their RS5 Sportback.